You think Kyle is just the cute little ginger with a sweet and kind heart? Wrong! This little guy's caused more trouble than you'd ever believe, and today, justice is finally catching up with him. Starting with the episode Ike's Wee Wee. Kyle makes one of the wildest decisions ever seen, all as an attempt to protect his baby brother. It begins when Stan learns what a circumcision is, or at least what he thinks it is, and rushes to tell Kyle.
Kyle, you have to stop them! Stop who? Dude, I found out what a bris is! I found out what they're gonna do to Ike! What? They're gonna chop off his wee-wee! Chop off his wee-wee? Are you sure? Yeah, dude, it's a Jewish tradition!
Oh man, I can't imagine the horror of having your wee-wee chopped off. No one would ever want that for themselves or their brother. So Kyle, freaking out, decides to confront his parents.
They are gonna cut off his fireman!
It's Jewish tradition, Bubby.
Normally we do it right after the baby is born, but we had to do it later for Ike because he's a...
Okay, that didn't help Kyle at all, and he decides to save his brother from suffering such a fate. So he launches Operation Save Ike from wee-wee chopping parents.
Ow! Cover me for a while. I'll find a place to hide him and come back. No way, dude. We're not staying alone in your house with your wee-wee chopping parents. Just give me 30 minutes.
Where are you possibly gonna hide him?
Get on this train. Ready, Ike? Kick the baby.
Don't kick the baby.
Goodbye, Ike. Be safe. I'll come find you in Nebraska when Mom and Dad are back to normal.
Nebraska? I know he has good intentions, but he just sent off Ike with no adult supervision, no food, no water, nothing. But he doesn't just stop there. He makes an Ike look-alike doll to deceive his parents into thinking that he's still around, but that plan don't go well at all.
Oh, my baby! Bubble mine! Ah! Baby! Oh, he's dead! He's dead!
How are you going to explain things now, Kyle? Oh, and it gets worse. At the funeral, Kyle learns that Ike isn't even his biological brother. He's adopted, and from Canada.
You mean to tell me that all this time I've been trying to protect Ike from having his fireman cut off, and he's not even my real brother?
What are you talking about?
Dude, Ike isn't dead. He's in Nebraska.
So after all the trouble to protect Ike, Kyle just decides he doesn't care about Ike anymore. The parents go to Nebraska and get their baby back, and Kyle, well, he gets grounded. Fast forward to the day of the bris ceremony, when the real wee-wee chopping bris doctor arrives. Ike bolts straight into Kyle's arms, and Kyle melts.
Come on, Ike, it's time.
You stay away from my little brother.
But son, I just...
You aren't gonna cut off his wee-wee. Not today, you sick-ass weirdo.
How sweet and heroic. Finally, the adults step in and explain what a circumcision actually is, and everything's okay. But let's not forget this heartwarming moment doesn't free Kyle from his actions. Sending Ike away unsupervised here is insane. Getting grounded is not enough punishment. In the real world, Kyle would be charged with negligence and child endangerment. That would bring him a fine of $10,000 and 2 years imprisonment. It's totally normal for kids to get mad at their parents when they don't get what they want. I mean, who hasn't been there, right? But this time, Kyle takes it to a whole new level. In the episode, The Wacky Molestation Adventure, great name, I know, Kyle wants to attend the Raging Pussies concert with Cartman, but his parents have other ideas.
Can I go with the guys to see the Raging...
No, Kyle.
But all the guys are going.
Kyle, you're not old enough, and those concerts are dangerous and vile.
But Mom,
The answer is no, Kyle.
And honestly, their reasons are pretty valid. Concerts like that aren't exactly kid-friendly, and it's their job as parents to say no. But Kyle? Oh, Kyle. He doesn't handle it well. And then comes Cartman, the worst influence on the planet.
Of course your parents said you can't go. Dummy, you don't ask if you can go. I'm telling my parents I'm staying at Stan's house. Stan's telling his parents he's staying at Kenny's house, and Kenny's not telling his parents anything because they're alcoholics and they don't care. Woo! Oh. Oh, no, I already told them. Well, I guess you're screwed then.
Kyle tries the diplomatic route first. He negotiates with his parents. They, being the geniuses they are, give him an impossible task, bring democracy to Cuba, and he actually does it. Wow. But his victory doesn't last for long.
I did it! Now I can go to the Raging...
No, you can't.
What?
Kyle, your mother and I don't want you going to the Raging concert. We gave you a chore that we thought was impossible. You weren't supposed to actually do it.
Betrayed and furious, Kyle does what any normal kid would do. Sulk, throw a tantrum, maybe slam a door or two. Actually, no. Kyle has a better idea. One that's straight out of Cartman's playbook.
All you gotta do is call the police and say that your parents both you. What's that? I don't know, but it works. When I wanted to get rid of my mom's last boyfriend, I just called the police and said he was me, and I haven't seen him for 3 months. Wow. 3 months without parents.
Be careful who you call your friends, because what the hell, Cartman? And here's where Kyle absolutely crosses the line. Following Cartman's advice, he, wait for it, falsely accuses his parents of molestation.
Oh my God, this isn't happening! I would never touch my children like that! You do have the right to remain silent, ma'am. I suggest you use that right.
My goodness, that is just all levels of wrong. But every other kid in town decides that it's all levels of right.
Having no parents is awesome. I'm gonna say my parents me too. Hey, yeah, we should all say our parents us. Yeah.
Before long, every adult is locked up and it's total chaos. If you needed a surefire recipe for disaster, look no further. But let's hit pause for a second. What Kyle did is a crime. Filing a false police report is no joke. It would mean hefty fines of $10,000 and a jail time of 2 years. So the boys end up at Denver Sea Park, and while the gang is off exploring, Kyle's totally amazed by this huge whale Jambu putting on a show.
Hey, Jambu.
Hello, little boy. Do you like my flippers?
Who said that?
I did.
Okay, a talking whale. That isn't weird at all. But hold up, it's not the whale talking, it's Brian, the host of the show, messing around on the loudspeaker, pulling off a prank. Kyle then drags his friends to come see the talking whale, and Brian, playing the talking whale, reveals some sensitive information to them.
You see, my name is actually Wilziak, and I'm from the moon.
Yeah, you hear that right, the moon. But he doesn't even stop there. He pranks the boys by telling them if Wilziak doesn't get back to the moon, he's gonna die. Something fishy's going on here. Why would you emotionally manipulate little boys?
I wish I could return and dance in the moon castle with my wife and 3 children again.
Oh my God.
Now here comes the wild part. Kyle is moved by that sad story, and so he organizes the boys on a rescue mission.
Craig, Token, get the slings ready. Shh, Wheelsiak, don't say anything. We're gonna bust you out of here.
Wait, these kids just broke into the sea park in the middle of the night like they're in a low-budget action movie? Surely they could apply these skills to more productive endeavors. Well, Kyle ends up having another stroke of genius. He calls up the Russian government, hoping to chatter a rocket to the moon.
I need to book one trip to the moon, please, right away.
The moon? That is quite a large trip, but I'm sure we can do it.
You can? Awesome!
Then it sounds like we are in business. We will just need, say, $20 million?
Where are you gonna get $20 million, Kyle? Might be a good time to return the poor whale, don't you think? But oh no, he don't give up. They go for a cheaper option.
How much would that cost?
200
$200 million?
$200.
This isn't even the crazy part. They're on their way to Tijuana, and Brian and Mike, the 2 dudes that pulled the whole talking whale prank, are hot on their trail. And even worse, the police show up.
Come on, kid, move it!
Leave those kids alone, you bastards! Animal Liberation Front!
Ah! Put down that weapon, now!
Dude, what is going on? As soon as shots are fired, it's just absolute chaos.
Ah! Jesus, oh God! Ah! Save the whales.
After several bodies drop, they finally get Wilziak on a truck to the launch pad and send him home.
Oh my God!
We did it! Yeah!
I'm still struggling to wrap my head around how all this is because of a talking whale. Kyle is proud of himself. After all, he just sent Wilziak to space, but a plot twist.
But at least from now on, every time we look at the moon, we can know that Wheelsiak is up there, dancing with the other Zypods in his castle.
Sure, he's definitely dancing on the moon. But the little rascal Kyle won't be getting away with this so easily. First, he and the gang broke into Denver Sea Park and stole a whale. That's charges for breaking and entering, for which he'll be facing 1 year and $4,000. Then there's grand theft that's punishable by 3 years imprisonment and $10,000. Then there's the whole animal cruelty thing. Taking a whale from its aquarium pool and dragging it through all those weird conditions, then finally sending it to space to die. Kyle's looking at 5 years in jail and a $10,000 fine. Long story short, in total, he's looking at 9 years and $24K. In the episode of Brittany's New Look, Kyle goes on an adventure to make money and picks up the worst career path ever. The boys are stuck at Stan's house, being held hostage by Randy's idea of family fun, a political broadcast featuring Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. But just when they think the boredom might kill them, Brittany Watch breaks in with some juicy drama.
Mrs. Spears was spotted at a mountain campground, and you won't believe what she did, Ron. The troubled diva took a piss right on a ladybug. We've blurred out parts of the photo so that it doesn't offend.
That's just gross. How is this being aired? That's not even all of it, though.
The photograph was taken by Brian Willis of Bailey, Colorado, who sold it to 31 News for $100,000.
$100,000 for that disgusting photo. Kyle decides he's found his money-making venture. He suddenly barks out orders to the boys and is ready to do whatever it takes to get their own picture and pick up $100K. When they show up at Brittany's hideout, there's an entire crowd there, too. Everyone's looking to get their own $100K photo over as well.
Excuse us, we're trying to get a picture of Britney Spears.
Join the club.
Yeah, all you amateur photographers are making this tougher on the professionals.
Kyle, of course, is never out of bright ideas, and he gets them in to meet Brittany.
Nobody goes upstairs.
We have special permission? Yeah, don't you recognize us? We're Britney Spears' kids.
You are?
Not me. I'm a squirrel.
It works, and they get into Brittany's room, ready to capture their viral pic.
We did it, guys! I told you that would work. Yeah! All right! All right!
You mean it was just a joke? My kids ain't here?
The only voice of reason is Butters, but the rest are hell-bent on going ahead with her ugly plan. Brittany realizes they're just there for a pic, and she's fed up with it all, and so in a heartbreaking moment, she reaches her breaking point.
All right, fine. We don't need you, Butters. Yeah, we'll just get a picture of her doing something else. All right, lady, just flash us your crotch or something.
I've got a better idea.
You do?
Yeah.
No!
And yeah, I guess they've finally got their viral pic.
You killed her!
Kyle's actions didn't just cross the line, they did a whole cartwheel over it. Manipulating someone in a mental health crisis to the point of self-harm is involuntary manslaughter territory, and the punishment for that is 8 years behind bars along with a $250,000 fine. But not just that, he would also be charged with intentional infliction of emotional distress, which would fetch him a penalty of 5 years in prison and a $50,000 fine. Add those up, that's $300K in fines and 12 years in jail. And he thought he'd be 100K richer. Now, Kyle does the most insane thing ever. Seriously, this one is out there. In the fantastic Easter special episode, Stan got a big question on his mind. What does Easter have to do with Jesus' resurrection? Well, after asking around, he heads to the mall bunny for answers.
All right, can you please explain to me what's going on?
Huh?
What is the deal with the coloring the eggs and you hiding them and all that? What does that have to do with Jesus dying on the cross? Is it symbolic? Are you trying to reference something that happened in biblical times? Answer me!
Not exactly the clarity Stan was looking for, but then the bunny makes a mysterious phone call and the chaos ensues. Stan rushes home and asks for help from his dad like every scared kid, but let's just say nothing could have prepared him for what happened next.
They're coming in! Dad, open the door!
Randy? Yeah. Guess it turns out the kid we're after is my son. Oh.
What is going on here, grand hair? Well, it turns out Stan's dad, Randy, belongs to a secret society that's been guarding the secret of the Easter Bunny. Yeah, that's right, Easter has a secret.
So what is the secret of Easter?
I can't tell you. You have to be allowed into the society first, but perhaps it's time.
Sure, time to initiate your son into your weird Easter club. Just a typical Tuesday. So Stan arrives at the secret society, which is called the Hares Club for Men. Even his grandpa's a member too, but that's not the craziest thing that he has to deal with right now.
All hail the cute rabbit Snowball.
Hail Snowball!
Bowing to a rabbit. Seriously, I need popcorn for this scene. It's just beautiful work of art. As Stan tries to wrap his head around this madness, the chaos dials up even further.
At the Last Supper, Jesus Christ met with his 12 disciples. It was there that They found us! Protect Snowball!
Protect Snowball? Why is everyone obsessing over a rabbit in a cage while Stan, the actual helpless kid, is left to fend for himself?
Stan, take Snowball and get out of here!
Where am I supposed to go?
Just get out of here!
So with ninjas destroying the whole place, the confused kid is who the rabbit is being entrusted to. What's he supposed to do with it?
Ooh! Search the area! The boy could not have gotten far!
What have you gotten yourself into, Stan? Having nowhere else to go, Stan runs to Kyle for help.
Dude, they took my dad away. They even shot one of his fellow hares. And now they're after me. Do you know anything about Easter? What is the connection between Jesus and rabbits and colored eggs? Dude, I'm Jewish. I have no idea.
Somehow he convinces Kyle to join in on this insanity. Together they meet a certain Dr. Teabag who finally spills all the secrets.
Saint Peter was a rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
Of course, the church wouldn't allow Da Vinci to paint Peter as a rabbit, so he painted him as a man, but left clues. Look closely.
I don't see it.
What in the name of Dan Brown and Robert Langdon is going on here? Stan and Kyle dive deeper into the rabbit hole, pun intended, and discover the key to all this madness.
Why would the Pope be holding my dad hostage for Snowball?
I believe Snowball must be a direct descendant of St. Peter himself, and therefore the true heir of the Pope's throne.
A rabbit? The heir to the Pope's throne?
Tell people that St. Peter was a rabbit is blasphemy. You must admit you are wrong or burn in hell.
I agree, except with the burning in hell part, though. Of course, the Pope and the American Catholic League aren't thrilled about this and send ninjas after Stan and Kyle. They manage to escape, but poor Dr. Teabag ain't so lucky. Terrified and desperate, Stan prays to Jesus for help. They decide to head to the Vatican to make peace, offering Snowball in exchange for Stan's dad. But plot twist.
These whores must be punished in front of everyone.
You swore on the cross, Fatso.
Yeah. Too bad for you, it was a double cross. Oh, we should have seen that coming.
Double cross. That was a good one. And now, while all this is going on, suddenly out of nowhere, Jesus is thrown into this whole thing.
It can't be.
Jesus!
He is risen.
Oh, not Jesus actually showing up, but everything about this is just crazy.
Kill him. What? He goes against the church. He must die. All right, that does it, Bill. I'm pretty sure that killing Jesus is not very Christian.
So Jesus gets arrested, and Kyle ends up locked up with him. But oh man, it just gets wild when Jesus reveals how his powers work, and it's a lot to take in.
You're going to have to kill me.
What?
Stab me with this. If I die, I can resurrect outside the bars.
It's weird. It's really weird. And Kyle, being Jewish and all, is a little freaked out about this. I am too, but then he finally agrees to it.
Happy Easter, Jesus.
Now, just as Stan, Randy, and the remaining Hair Club members are all gathered for Snowball's execution, Jesus resurrects and saves the day. What were the writers on when they made this episode, seriously? But let's just set aside the bunny conspiracy and resurrection craziness to talk about Kyle. By agreeing to Jesus' plan, Kyle becomes an accomplice to murder, and even if it was for the greater good, this makes him legally complicit. In real life, Kyle would be facing charges for murder, landing him 20 years in jail with a fine of $10,000. It's a normal thing for kids to play and to get into trouble, but when it has to do with Kyle, things just always get way out of hand. In the episode Good Times with Weapons, the boys come across a weapons store selling ninja weapons.
Martial arts weapons from the Far East. Wow, cool.
Okay, sure, as a kid, maybe once or twice I did imagine playing like that, but of course only in my imagination. Kyle and the boys decide they have to have the weapons, and so they find a way to convince the vendor.
Our parents died in a car accident last year. What? What? Why did you have to take the boat?
Such small but petty liars. And the vendor, he buys it, because why wouldn't he? He's a South Park character. He would hand over deadly weapons to a group of kids because of such a made-up story. That would happen. Now armed with real weapons, the boys decide they're ninjas and embark on an imaginary adventure through South Park.
Yeah, and my powerful nunchucks make me into Bunraku, a deadly but compassionate ninja who protects those in trouble. What's your ninja name, Kenny?
You can just feel disaster lurking, because what else happens when kids armed with blades and throwing stars start playing pretend? Now Butters wants to join in, and so he transforms himself into a villain.
Well, if it isn't the four ninjas. Who the hell is that? I don't know. Craig, is that you? Fools! I am Professor Chaos, bringer of destruction and doom!
Honestly, Butters, you should have just stayed home and read a book or something. The boys soon face off against Professor Chaos in an anime-style battle that's epic in their heads. But then disaster strikes. Right in his eye!
Oh, dude, it's stuck in his eye! What the hell did you do that for, Kenny? It hurts! It hurts!
Of course it would hurt. What were you expecting? This is why kids are told to not play with sharp objects. Anyway, playtime is over. Inform the parents and take them to the hospital right now. Nope, actually, they don't. It gets way worse.
We have to kill Butters and bury him in Kyle's backyard. Dude, shut up. I agree with Cartman. What? You don't understand what my mom will do to me if she finds out I was playing with weapons.
These kids are sick. They find the next best plan that doesn't involve killing Butters. They disguise him as a dog to sneak him into an animal hospital.
All right, now we just gotta sneak him into town.
But while on the way to the animal hospital, they do even worse. So they deny Butters proper medical attention, and then they go back to playing ninja whilst Butters is in terrible pain. Have they learned nothing? By the time they're done with their epic battles, though, more chaos just unfolds.
Butters! Butters! Oh, nice going, you assholes. You made us lose him. Lose who? Butters! He got a ninja star stuck in his eye, and we were taking him to the vet when you fucked it all up. Butters!
Nah, you guys are the ones that messed up, Kyle. Butters, the little champ, stumbled his way to an actual hospital.
Oh my God! What the? Doctor! Doctor!
Jesus Christ. What kind of sick bastard would do this to a dog?
That's a child, Doc, and among the people responsible is Kyle. Okay, Kyle might not have been the one to throw the shuriken, but he's definitely getting thrown into jail. First, there's child endangerment. Denying Butters access to medical attention to cover up their crime is reckless and just evil. For refusing to get him help, he'll be facing 6 years in prison and paying a fine of $10,000. Kyle will also get slammed with the crime of accessory to assault with a deadly weapon since he went along with the whole mess. That'll be an extra jail term of 15 years and $10,000. Add it all up, that's 21 years in total and $20K in fines. It's just halfway into Kyle's rap sheet, and he's already racked up 66 years in jail and $374,000 in fines. For a kid who seemed so innocent. But then hold on to your hats, guys, because the crimes Kyle goes on to do after this gets way darker than this, and we've already talked about murder. In the episode Skank Hunt, Kyle decides to gang up against Eric and do the most devilish thing ever. The story kicked off with a community meeting in the gym about the dangers of internet trolls. Someone has been bullying the schoolgirls team with a troll account going by the name Skank Hunt 42. And of course, the students suspect only one person.
Are you or are you not the internet troll Skank Hunt 42?
It's Skank Hunt 42, and no, I am not.
He's lying. Make him show you his phone.
Unfortunately, that'd be a breach of my civil rights.
This is what happens when you're known for being responsible for all the bad stuff that goes on. Even the boys also suspect Cartman.
So tonight, whoever is doing this isn't going to do it again. Because if he does, we're gonna have to do something about it. You hear that, guys? It better not happen again tonight. I am so seriously.
Way to keep it subtle, guys. It doesn't stop the trolling, though, because it happens again that night. Then the girls decide to do something about it by attacking the boys, but the boys decide that to save themselves, they must hand over the suspect.
Accept it. After school, we're gonna go to my uncle's cabin in the woods. We're gonna have a slumber party and play Counter-Strike all night with no one around to bother us. Are you serious? All-night broship Counter-Strike party? That's sweet! Does your uncle's cabin have good Wi-Fi?
Cartman has no idea what's being planned for him, so he shows up with them in the woods with Kyle at the front of the group.
My laptop's so fast it doesn't lag at all. I can jump around like a pwned powerhouse. I'm sure you will. You guys all seem kind of like bummed out. Is everything cool? Everything's fine, Cartman.
Everything's not fine, Cartman. It's a trap! And when he gets into the cabin ready to play video games, he realizes what's actually about to go down.
I don't see it. I don't see it coming up on my laptop. We're sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys are gonna break all my stuff so I can't get online. Just put your stuff on the table and step back.
Cartman begs and begs, but the boys do not listen. They charge at him and smash all of his gadgets into oblivion.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And it's just cruel, man. Sure, this is the best way to stop the internet troll, but then Kyle soon learns that they had it all wrong.
You didn't hear? Hear what? The troll Skank Hunt, Kyle. He was all over the internet last night. No, that's impossible. It wasn't him, Kyle. We took Cartman out for no reason. We can't undo what we've done. Oh my God.
Kyle Broflovski may have tried to save the day, but all he did was make things way worse, and now he's got to face the consequences. Kyle destroyed Cartman's property. That's a criminal act, and he's looking at charges for vandalism and malicious damage to property, which comes with a penalty of 10 years and $25,000. Then there's conspiracy to commit property destruction. Kyle and his buddies conspired to take out Cartman's electronics, and that would also land him an additional fine of $25,000 and 10 years in jail for conspiracy to commit an act of violence. That's a total of 20 years and $50K. Kyle soon finds another low to sink too. He might just be reaching the Earth's core at this point, man. In the episode Chickenpox, Kyle, for some reason, thinks it's a good idea to get back at his parents in the worst possible way. So after there's a case of chickenpox, the mothers of South Park come up with an idea to help their kids avoid getting it.
So tell me if I'm crazy, but I started thinking that we should intentionally have our boys play with a child who has the chickenpox. Let them get it now while they're young.
That's not crazy at all, Sharon. Mothers do it all the time.
Oh, I'm sure they do, Sheila. I'm sure they do. So they send the boys to go over for a sleepover at Kenny's, but the boys don't know why, and they come back with the pox.
Looks like you've got chickenpox, all right.
Chickenpox? Oh no, I must have caught it from Kenny last night.
Oh, gee, I guess you did.
Well, you sure seem happy about it.
All right, it's off to bed with you, young man.
Okay, so their plan worked and the kids have all got it. Wait, not everyone.
I don't understand it. He's perfectly healthy.
Yeah, I feel great.
Are you sure you stayed over at Kenny's house?
Yeah, dude, I told you we had bread sandwiches for breakfast.
Did you sleep in the same room?
He's too slow to catch it, I guess. But eventually he learns about the secret plot to get him sick.
What else to do? We sent the other boys over and they all got sick, but I can't get my little Kyle to catch it.
Oh my God.
Kyle, what are you doing there, honey?
You!
It's like some sort of parental conspiracy. But what Kyle decides to do next blows everything right out of the roof. He makes a plan to take revenge out on his parents.
Are you old Frida?
Who wants to know?
Someone who wants a favor.
$10 a lay, $5 a month.
Huh? We want you to give our parents herpes.
$5.
Planning to do what to your own parents? That's just sick and twisted, my good heavens. But Kyle doesn't even stop to reconsider. They find the $5, and so Frida gets to work.
Disappointed. Then I saw. Now I'm a believer.
What the hell am I watching? Sure, in the world of South Park, things blow over quickly, but if Kyle tried this in the real world, he'd face criminal charges with a penalty of 1 year in jail. Spreading STDs intentionally is a crime and can be classified as assault. Kyle would now be facing 7 years in jail and $2,500 for each person that was a victim. Counting the different houses they took Frida to, that'll be a total of 29 years in jail and a fine of $10,000 that Kyle will be facing. In the episode Butt Out, Kyle tries to prove a point, but only ends up putting the school up in flames. It all starts when an anti-smoking group called Butt Out performs at South Park Elementary. Now, we've all seen cringeworthy attempts to teach kids healthy habits, but Butt Out takes it to a whole new level of weird.
If that cigarette butt a throw.
Jesus Christ.
Smoking's got to go. Remember, kids, if you smoke, you could grow up to be a failure.
Worse yet, you could grow up to be dead.
So don't believe what those evil tobacco companies tell you.
Yeah, because if you don't smoke, you can grow up to be
just like us.
Yeah, that's exactly what every 10-year-old dreams of. So naturally, the boys, being the rebels they are, decide they are definitely not going to be like them. So what do?
Here, give me another one. Oh, dude, this is really hard.
Good heavens, these kids are dumb. But then the smoking rebellion backfires.
Oh, here comes Mr. Mackey. Throw him away.
Throw away used cigarettes into the dumpster. Sure, that won't be a problem at all.
And if you start smoking at an early age, okay, it's gonna be bad. Okay, because smoking can lead to all kinds of health problems like cancer.
Tell them about cancer. They just burned down the school. Forget a cancer. They're getting jail time. Kyle and his friends just committed arson. That's an instant felony right there. The penalty for arson is 10 years in jail along with a $25,000 fine. Sure, no one's dead, but the fire could have easily caused harm. And that's not even all. There's another case where it gets even worse. In the episode Preschool, Kyle and the boys started a fire and it got out of hand.
Transboyette, what have you done now?
They said they could put it out.
Children, get back away now! I'm burning!
Sure, everyone gets stupid and makes mistakes, but what they do next is just villainous.
You boys, Trent is trying to tell us the fire was your idea.
No, not us. We're good kids. Tell them it was an accident. You thought you could put it out. Transboyette is a liar, sir.
I thought so. All right, that's it, Trent. You're going to juvenile hall for a long time.
Did they just blame it on another kid? Imagine being so young, but yet so twisted and evil. Fast forward to today, and Trent's out on parole.
Trent Boyette is being released from juvenile hall. What? Trent Boyette? The kid from preschool? Yeah, he just got parole.
Kyle knows full well that their actions back then were not just reckless, but criminal, and they are scared for their lives.
Guys, what the f are we gonna do? In case you've forgotten, Trent Boyette is the meanest kid we ever knew. He's gonna tear us apart. Look, that was a long time ago. Maybe Trent Boyette has forgotten all about it.
But oh man, he shouldn't just be worried about Trent's revenge. He has the police to worry about too. This particular case was not just arson, but aggravated arson. That's because someone got badly burned and harmed. Sure, they were kids, but I'm trying them as adults because, haha, funny. So this ramps up the charges to an extra 25 years. For both cases, Kyle will be looking at a total jail term of 35 years and $50,000. When the people of South Park started acting sus, Kyle decided it was time to take matters into his own hands. So what does he do? Picks up a knife with a thirst for blood. This all went down in the episode South Park is Gay, where every man and boy suddenly has a wardrobe change.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? That was the cutest top ever. I know. Oh, tell me about it, Kendall. Hey, dudes.
Okay, they do look fabulous, I must say. But Kyle probably didn't get the memo.
This is the jacket I always wear. You gotta get with the times, girlfriend. Yeah, that jacket is so September 10th.
After Cartman rips into him, they decide to give Kyle a makeover, and yep, now Kyle's rocking the new look too. But nah, his parents aren't having it.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Ah! Kyle, what's happened to you?
I'm just trying to fit in, Daddy. Don't be such a drama queen.
But then it isn't just the kids, it's almost everyone in South Park that's suddenly metrosexual.
What's that?
Just because a guy cares about how he looks and is in touch with his feminine side doesn't mean he's gay anymore.
Yeah, metrosexual means you're straight, but you appreciate the gay culture.
But Kyle's not liking this so much. Things get even worse when he walks into school, proudly rocking his usual non-metro clothes, but no, now he's the enemy.
Look, guys, a lot of the kids in school are talking, okay? And they're spreading rumors that we're not metrosexuals because we hang out with Kyle. Well, what can we do about it? We have no choice, you guys. We're just gonna have to kill Kyle. What? That's stupid. We wouldn't have to kill Kyle. We would just have to tell him not to hang around us anymore.
Thank you for still being reasonable, Stan. However, they gather and beat up Kyle. When Kyle gets home, he walks past the TV show where the source of all the sudden gayness is coming from.
Now you look fabulous. You see that? A spray-on tan does wonders for your look. Now let's get down to the tango class and learn some new steps.
That does it. I know what I have to do.
Carol decides he's done with this nonsense. He purchases a train ticket to New York to meet the producers of said show, but spoiler alert, he's not going there to have a peaceful chat. And guess what? He's not the only one fed up with this metrosexual madness.
Mr. Garrison?
Kyle, what are you doing here?
I'm going to New York to kill the queer eye for the straight guy people.
What? That's what I'm doing.
Oh no, they ruined my life.
Imagine being so fed up that you're plotting murder and fighting over who should deliver the final blow. What a mess. They finally arrive in New York to carry out their mission.
Carol? Go off to check on this. Excuse me a minute, fellas.
Clear!
But the mission fails.
Just cry.
Classic. But hold on. The Queer Eye guys reveal themselves to be...
We are the crab people.
I have so many questions. But hey, Kyle has a lot to answer for. First off, plotting to kill the Queer Eye guys and also assaulting them with a deadly weapon, which comes at a penalty at $150,000 and 15 years. He's also guilty of attempted murder, and that's a felony. The penalty for that is 20 years in jail and a fine of $25,000. Then there's the assault on the Queer Eye guys, the illegal carrying of a weapon in public, and let's not forget his mission was clearly targeted at hating on their sexual orientation, which ramps up the charges to a hate crime. So in total, we're looking at about 38 years in jail and $200,000 in fines. You typically expect Kyle to be the one with a moral compass when everyone else's fails, but what he does in the episode Crack Baby Association is just all shades of evil. The episode kicked off with Kyle and Stan enjoying a Terrence and Phillip episode until a commercial that's too sad even for South Park shows up.
Thousands of babies are born addicted to crack and lie in hospitals without a mother to hold them. Won't you volunteer today? Look at these pictures. They need you.
Ah, dude. God.
This shakes Kyle to his core, and so he runs off to volunteer at the medical center to help these crack babies, but what he doesn't expect is to bump into another volunteer.
What are you doing here? I'm volunteering my time, Kyle.
Young Eric has been here every day for the past 2 weeks, bless his heart.
Why do you have a video camera? I'm volunteering, Cal. It just so happens Sarah McLaughlin touched my heart. Is that so hard to believe? Goodbye, Nurse Williams. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Eric.
Yes, Cartman, it is so hard to believe because, let's face it, Cartman volunteering is a little suspicious in and of itself. Kyle decides to spy on Cartman to uncover his dark secret, and of course, his suspicion is true. Cartman isn't there out of the goodness of his heart.
What if I were to tell you there's a way to help those poor babies born addicted to crack and give them a future as well? All right, what is it? Crack baby basketball.
Crack baby what? This little dude turned babies into some sort of sport for entertainment.
I mean, it's cool because, like the commercial said, the crack babies had nothing before.
Now, Kyle, like every normal human being, is horrified when he hears about all this, and he walks away, but then that lasts only for, 2 seconds? Can we count?
We made $1,000 in 11 days. You what? Ask the guys. There's 6 hospitals within a 10-mile radius, and all we do is pit the crack babies against each other with a little bottle of crack.
I gotta tell you, if the sound of all that money made you change your mind on reporting, then this makes you way worse, Kyle. That's right, Kyle becomes full-on partnered up in this insane, unethical mess, helping Cartman out. He even gets his own office. Like, dude.
Put your office right here, Cal. All of South Park walking by, looking up at you. And it actually helps the crack babies. It's like volunteering, but we just make a little on the side.
No, man, it's nothing like volunteering. This is child racketeering. I mean, the Crack Baby Athletic Association has turned into a full-blown sick enterprise. They even go about pitching to pregnant women who are addicted to crack.
And the Crack Baby Athletic Association is a storied franchise. It was founded over 12 days ago with a firm ethical code that strictly states benefits to players is detrimentalized to their well-being. I cannot offer you or your child any cash. I can, however, offer you a little bit of crack.
Which is low-key kind of smart, not gonna lie. As if that wasn't terrible enough, they decide to take their business at the next level.
We are turning this thing into a legitimate sport, Kyle. We're getting Slash to start playing at halftime. And EA Sports is offering us $100,000 for the video game rights.
Just unbelievable. These sick little rascals are crazy. But then Kyle going along with this, that's just downright... Anyway, Kyle's involvement isn't just morally questionable, it's illegal and purely criminal. First up, Kyle can face charges of child endangerment and exploitation of minors by actively participating in a business that uses babies in dangerous and degrading situations. Kyle is complicit in activities that would land him in serious jail time of 15 years and a fine of $25,000. But don't forget he's also guilty of racketeering. This whole operation could have easily had them charged for trafficking minors. That'll fetch Kyle with another 25 years in jail and a fine of $10,000 for each child. If I assume it's just 20 babies involved here, which is me being very generous, that's $200,000. Kyle might have joined this thinking it was some money-making venture, but ignorance isn't a defense and he'd be getting locked away for a total of 40 years and a fine of $225,000. Now, most of y'all probably saw this next one coming. There's no argument that Kyle Broflovski isn't exactly the poster child for responsible sibling behavior. I mean, kick the baby.
Ready, Ike? Kick the baby.
Don't kick the baby.
Kick the baby.
What the? Now, who would kick a baby through my window?
Just in and of itself is downright messed up. Yeah, so, but it doesn't even stop at that one time.
Kick the baby.
Ike, you broke another window! That's a bad baby.
Kyle has a serious issue. He's straight up kicking Ike in multiple episodes like it's his full-time job.
Ready, Ike? Kick the baby.
Don't kick the baby.
Goodbye, Ike. Okay, Ike, kick the baby.
Don't kick the goddamn baby. Yay!
Kick the baby.
Just imagine this endless cycle of violence towards a helpless baby, and it's all for laughs. Oh boy, Kyle be facing some serious consequences here. He'd be hit with charges of repeated violence against a child, which comes with a punishment of 15 years in prison and a fine of $10,000. And here's the kicker. Kyle would also be dealing with charges of domestic violence. It's bad enough when someone harms a kid on the street, but when it's happening in your own home, the penalties get way more serious. That's $25,000 in fines and 3 years in jail. And so for all the times Kyle kicked the baby, he'll get 90 years in jail and $175,000. At this point, it's just facts that things always go wrong with Kyle Broflovski, even when he's trying to do the right thing. In this case, he tried to fight against injustice and, oh wait, caused a nuclear strike. Welcome to War Crime City, Population Kyle. It all starts at recess when Kyle witnesses violence happening in the school.
So then why can't I come? Sergeant Philip is a gas that thing, baby. Oh. Hey! What the hell are you all doing?
Watching Heidi get her
Kicked. Guys, this has gone on way too long. Can't we all stop being so mean to each other?
Shut up, Kyle. You sound like your mom.
Ooh, that stung. Kyle later watches the Terrence and Phillips show, but, well, he's just fed up with it. He's decided that the show isn't just dumb, it's actually what's causing bullying. So he marches straight to the new vice principal to share his big theory.
You see, there's a culture at this school that embraces meanness. And I believe now it comes from a Canadian TV show. All the boys watch it. I did too. We all laughed while they farted on innocent people's heads.
But she calls his idea ridiculous and diminishes him, but not before delivering a punch that really hurt.
But I thought for sure you would be on my side.
Kind of sounds like something my mother would say, actually.
What? Oh, forget it!
Not again. I mean, who knew being called a Jewish mom was such a trigger? Feeling insulted and ignored, Kyle storms off in anger. Then a news segment airs about Canada being a bad influence. Kyle jumps at the chance to share his opinion.
Young man, you say Canada is to blame for most of our problems.
All I'm saying is that there's a culture that originates from Canada, which is at least partly to blame for the state of our country now.
But the Canadian Minister of Streaming joins in and decides to roast Kyle on live TV.
You sound like a Jewish mother.
Oh, see? That's what I'm talking about right there! That kind of mean, degrading Canadian trash!
Now, I resent that. I find that racist.
Canadians should care about the rest of the world!
You are a racist, friend. And if you have a problem with Canada, maybe you should talk to your backward president.
Maybe I will!
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe I know the president!
Oh, sure you do. Just like all Jewish moms, because you don't understand how...
Stop calling me that!
That was a lie. Now, Kyle's not just mad. He adds Canada to his hit list. To set things straight, Kyle first storms the Terrence and Phillips show set and shuts it down, but it all escalates at that point because of Kyle's protest. Tensions are high between the two governments.
Are you threatening us, you beady-eyed Canuck?
I'm simply telling you that Canada will do what it must to protect itself.
Then I guess both our countries better be prepared.
And then it happens. The President of the United States calls Kyle for advice. This should have been a red flag for everyone involved here, but no. Kyle's still fired up, gives this heartfelt speech on how to solve the situation.
What exactly do you want?
What do I want? I want a world where laughter doesn't come at someone else's expense.
But then he gets to the true reason for all his activism.
That I liked isn't turned into another Eric Cartman. These Canadians are in the way of that world, and everything they do and everything they have done needs to be erased from the earth.
Now, Kyle probably thought he was just being dramatic here, but the president takes Kyle's words literally.
The world together will take it. 'Cause I got you.
And boom, Canada's gone. There you go, Kyle, you got your wish.
Oh, here I said get up.
Now let's talk about the fallout. And no, I don't just mean the radioactive kind. Kyle's little speech wasn't just bad judgment, it was criminal, actually. First, there's incitement to violence. Organizing a protest against Canadians is a crime. That's 5 years in prison right there for incitement. And let's not forget he would also be charged with war crimes, encouraging an attack on an entire nation. Yeah, international courts don't exactly shrug that one off. Kyle could face 25 years in prison for that. Then he'd be charged for mass murder. That was a literal genocide, and it fetched Kyle 100 years behind bars. So in total, Kyle would spend about 130 years in prison and $10 million for the destruction of Canada. So with all of his crimes added together, Kyle is facing a total prison sentence of 448 years and a fine of $11,084,000. I gotta say, that is just frackin' wild. Click on the next video and see if someone else who was way more terrible than this exists. Spoiler alert, they very much do.